Shalom and Blessings. Welcome back to Just a Dad and a Bible. If you're new to the channel, I'm Gasper, and this is 1 Thessalonians 5:17 Ministries. I hope everyone's Passover and unleavened bread was great. Mine was fantastic. My family and I were able to get together with other like-minded people who absolutely love Hashem and love His feasts. Which brings me to today's video. During the Passover meal, a verse continued to play out in my head, but before I give you all the verse, here's some context about our meal. See, my family is one of only a few Messianic families in the area that I know of, and we usually partake in feasts with the Jewish congregation in the area. And as I sat there, looking to all these friends who I consider brethren, and I thought, wow, they truly love Hashem the way I do, the way my family does. The only difference is they don't believe that the Messiah has come yet. Anyways, this particular verse continued to roll through my thoughts, and it was Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5, or even Matthew 22:37. Now, I'm not a King James only, as you probably have noticed on this channel, but it was that version that ran through my head, funny enough, and it reads, "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might." And it's the same thing in Matthew. "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind." As I sat there with my Jewish brethren, I knew that when I thought of this verse, they would probably think the same as to how I would interpret this verse. See, to the Jewish mindset, or to the true Messianic mindset, but let me clarify first what I mean when I say Jewish mindset. Because there's this new Reform thought that believes just because they were born Jewish, they are quote-unquote Jewish. I mean, they are, but are they really? The Jewish mindset is Torah observant. They hold to the Sabbaths, the feasts, they eat kosher according to what the Torah says, not according to what man says and their added laws. Most importantly, they follow His commands because they love Him. Breaking apart for a second, did you know that many Jews do not mix meat with dairy? They use the passage from Exodus 23:19. "You shall not boil a young animal or kid in his mother's milk." This verse has nothing to do with the food itself. It does, but it's not what the verse actually means, right? What it does speak on is the timing or readiness of the young lamb. Is the lamb old enough to use as meat? Mixed meat and dairy, right? Proof text. Genesis 18. Hashem appears to Abraham in the plains of Mamre, so like any good Easterner, they are absolutely awesome when it comes to hospitality. Abraham invites them in. He runs to the herd and fetches a calf, good tender calf, gives it to a servant who prepares it with butter, curds, and milk. And he gave it to Hashem and the angels, and they did eat. Awkward. Anyways, back to the regular scheduled teaching. When the Jewish mindset speaks of love to Hashem, it isn't like that of the Christian, even though they believe what they are doing is the same, but they are lawlessly doing it. I really don't know how else to say that. Sorry, not sorry. The Jewish mindset, like that of the early assembly we read of in Acts, followed Hashem's given word. For example, John 14, verse 15, what Yeshua says, "If you love me, you will keep my commands." Or verse 21, "Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. And the one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and reveal myself to him." John chapter 15, verse 10, "If you keep my commands, you will stay in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and stay in his love." Or 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, "For loving God means obeying his commands. Moreover, his commands are not burdensome." Why does the contemporary church teach us they are burdensome? Are we starting to understand what Yeshua might be saying through his teachings here? Let's intertwine the authentic Jewish mindset to the true believer, right? Or a Messianic Jewish mindset. Could even be a Christian mindset. One who loves Hashem with all their heart, their soul, and their might. Showing one's devotion to Hashem is the greatest thing any believer can do. Well, how do we as believers do that? That's actually easy if we can overcome the flesh. Well, how do we do that? We make every effort. We do our best to study. We study to show ourselves approved. In Judaism, the highest form of love to Hashem is studying His Word, because right now that's kind of all we have. This is why the Shema is a core tenet to the faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol meodecha. Hear, O Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one. And you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. Where there is true love, genuine love, there is this fusion of the inner self with another. It becomes the point of reference to our identities. Think about someone who is lovesick about another. They can't think of anything else. They are infatuated with them. When we sit in our house, when we're walking by the way, when we lie down, when we wake up, it's all we think of. Knowing that we cannot possibly function or live without this relationship, we become one with Hashem. This love isn't based upon irrational emotions. It's well thought out. It's our inner convictions. We know we don't deserve life because we are sinners, and there is none who is righteous. And that's why our love for Hashem must increase, because we understand our indebtedness to Him. He gave us life when we didn't deserve it. This is why we are obedient to His word, the Torah. Our love becomes so strong that we become one with Him and His Son. Our love underpins our existence and identity. We show Hashem our love by doing what He asks of us as His children, and He in turn reciprocates His love back to us by showering His blessings as any father would do for his children. Exodus 19:5. And now, if you will diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all peoples, for the earth is mine. I call on heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have presented you with life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore choose life, so that you will live, you and your descendants, loving Adonai your God, paying attention to what He says and clinging to Him, for that is the purpose of your life. His promises stand to this day, and nothing has changed. I want to leave you with this passage for today, something to really think about when you ask yourself, are we to keep His commands, or were they done away with? Think how the prophets would look at this. I want to read John 17, beginning in verse 20. I pray not only for these, but also for those who will trust in me because of their word, that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are united with me and I with you. I pray that they may be united with us, so that the world may believe that you sent me. The glory which you have given to me, I have given to them, so that they may be one, just as we are one. I united with them, and you with me, so that they may be complete in one, and the world thus realize that you sent me, and you have loved me, and loved them just as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am, so that they may see my glory, which you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these people have known that you sent me. I made your name known to them, and I will continue to make it known, so that the love with which you have loved me may be in them, and I myself may be united with them. The question becomes, will you Shema or not Shema? I hope this teaching has blessed some of you. Like I said last time, if I can bring one of you to His true ways, I have done my job. And as always, please like, share, subscribe, click the thumbs up button so others may hear the message. As always, blessings and shalom.